to the 2021 New Year, New You Vision Board Workshop. My name is Alicia Johnson, and I am your presenter for today. So welcome, welcome, welcome to you all. So glad that you're able to hear me. All right. Here is our roadmap for today. We are going to talk a little bit about virtual etiquette. We're going to do some introductions. We are going to give you an overview of the Marketplace Alliance group, and we're going to talk a little bit about vision. We'll talk a lot about goal setting, and then we'll do a deep dive into vision boards because that's what we're here to talk about today. I will give you some resources, and then at the end, we will have a Q&A session so that you guys can ask any questions that you have. Now, at the start of this presentation, one of the things that I asked is for you guys to grab a pad and something to write with. That's when I was on mute and you guys weren't able to hear me. So grab a pad, something to write with, because I'm going to be giving out a lot of information today. And I'm happy to share my slide decks with you, which we will definitely go ahead and email after this presentation. So I'm happy to do that if you guys are interested in receiving the slide decks. But again, I am going to be sharing a lot of information. This is going to be a very interactive session because I don't think that it's fair that you gave up a little bit of your Saturday afternoon and I gave up a little bit of my Saturday afternoon and then you guys just sit and listen to me. I don't think that that's fair at all. So you guys are going to join. It's going to be a very collaborative effort and you guys are going to participate today and we are going to do this thing together. Is that all right? You guys tell me in the chat if that's okay. Are you guys all right with that? Now you guys are real silent in the chat. I don't hear anybody. Okay, thank you, Sue. Thank you so much. Thank you. Valentine, thank you. Okay, thank you. Now I know you guys are there. I thought you guys were sleeping. I was wondering, I'm like, have I already bored them? That is terrible. Okay, I'm glad that you guys are with me. All right. All right, so let us proceed with some introductions. Now, I want to give you the first tip of the day. I'm going to be giving out a couple of tips. I know this is a free webinar. I'm not going to charge you guys for the tip today, okay? But I do want to give you a tip. Whenever you're part of a webinar, because, you know, we're in the midst of a pandemic, and so a lot of things are virtual now, and so we don't really have the luxury of, you know, doing some networking in the classroom setting like we normally would. So because we are in a webinar setting, a lot of times people are going to ask you, go ahead and introduce yourself in the chat. And so when they ask you to do that, you want to take advantage of that because you never know who's in the room. If you're a business owner, it could be your next client that's in the room. And if you're not a business owner, it could be an opportunity for you to connect with someone that's going to help you to move, you know, a vision or something ahead. So you definitely want to make sure that you take advantage of those opportunities. So this is what I want you to do. In the chat, I want you to tell me where you're tuning in from. And if you have already identified your 2021 vision in one word, right? I want you to tell me what that one word is, your 2021 vision in one word. If you have not, that's okay. Don't worry about it. I want you to tell me what inspired you to be here today. So tell me where you're tuning in from, what inspired you to be here today, or what your 2021 vision is in one word. Go for it, guys. All right, so Valentine is from Greenville, South Carolina. Welcome. All right, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, but lives in Atlanta. Awesome sauce. Okay, peace and debt-free. Okay, I love that, Jacqueline. All right, Valentine's here because, okay. Want to learn. Okay, perfect. June is from Duluth, Georgia. Hi, June. Let's see. Peggy, focus is, oh, my Lord. That is my word for 2021. Focus. That is so awesome. Okay, so Alpharetta, growth. I love that. I love that, Jamie. Carl is from Atlanta. Oh, I love that. Freedom. Yes. Okay, Tess and Hiram, pivot. I love that too, pivot. Okay, Columbus, Georgia, learning about vision board. Okay, good. We're definitely going to do that today. Liz Marie, I hope I didn't mispronounce your name. Okay, Tamika, focus. Okay, love it, love it. Angelica, millions is the word for, okay. All right, I love that. Francis, hey Francis. Okay, Atlanta, Francis from Atlanta, and Francis, I don't have your word, but that's okay. All right, so Conyers, Lawrenceville. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So thank you guys for the introduction. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Sue says, okay, Sue's from Richmond. And okay, awesome. Angela says executed. So okay, I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, and Angelica said, I love math classes. This is why I come. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, it's great to meet you guys. Definitely great to meet you guys. So let's talk a little bit about me. So again, my name is Alicia. I am the presenter for today. And so I am the digital marketing director here at the Marketplace Alliance Group. And so my role here is to promote all of Marketplace Alliance Group's events and ensure that our audience knows who we are, what we do, and how we are looking to make an impact in their world. So that is my role. Shameless plug here. As the digital marketing director, I am a team of one. And so I am looking to grow my team. And so if you or someone that you know is interested in the digital marketing space, I am looking to grow my team for someone to help me to market our events and manage our social media. So if that is you, please do reach out to me as soon as possible. All right. So a little bit more about me. I have 17 years experience in corporate America. I have a background in contract administration, client relations, executive assistance, sales, event planning, and social media marketing. I also have 14 plus years experience as a two-time entrepreneur. I was a part of the Mary Kay company for about 10 years where I taught skincare and I helped to develop leaders and became very, very, very passionate about that. But in addition to that, I am also passionate about the small business community and their success. And so it is that passion that has moved me to become the founder of AOJ Business and Notary Services. We are here in the Atlanta area. We're coming up on about 6 years, our 6-year anniversary this year. So I'm super excited about that. And so our role with my role at AOJ Business and Notary Services, one of the things that we do is we provide solutions to small business owners that help them to increase productivity, alleviate stress, and create more opportunities for revenue growth. So that's what we do. That's what we offer to the small business community. And so if you want to learn more about the services that we provide, feel free to visit our website to learn more about us. When I am not doing what I do here at Marketplace Alliance Group and functioning in my business, you can find me as a chief encourager. That is something that I am really excited about. I normally have a niche for identifying in people, their gifts and their talents and really helping them to execute that, to live out their full potential. And so just a little bit about me. And so let's talk about who Marketplace Alliance Group is. Marketplace Alliance Group is a ministry extension of the Life Center. And the Life Center is a faith-based organization. And so I want to make sure that I say that because I know that we have a lot of different people in the room and I do not want to offend anyone. So during my presentation, you may hear me make mention of God and you may hear me make mention of a few scriptures. It is definitely not to offend anybody, but I am sharing that information based on our belief system as a faith-based organization. So the Life Center is in the Atlanta area. And so Marketplace Alliance Group is an extension of the Life Center ministry. And we empower businesses, entrepreneurs, nonprofit organizations, and individuals with innovative economic solutions that utilize relevant marketing methods and biblical principles for the success of individuals in the marketplace. So that is who Marketplace Alliance Group is. And our vision is to be the catalyst and a wealthy resource to develop marketplace ministers willing to disciple a nation by transforming business systems and concepts and the moral values of our society for God. And so what do? We provide a place where people just like you can come and be trained and equipped and activated to be an influencer and a leader in the marketplace, utilizing biblical principles. And so that is what we do. So let's go ahead and dive right on in. So today we're here to talk about vision boards, right? So before we talk about vision boards, let's talk a little bit about vision and what that is. So the teacher in me is really why this slide is here, because I think it's important for us to ensure that we have an understanding of anything that we are doing or pursuing or talking about, right? The Bible says in all that get understanding. And so let's look at the definition of vision. So vision, according to Joe Barker, is a dream without action, right? Merriam-Webster says that it's a thought or a concept formed by the imagination. The Oxford Living Dictionary says that it's the ability to think about or plan the future, right? And the King James Dictionary says that it's a revelation from God. It's a revelation from God. It's a revelation from God that is supernaturally presented to the mind. And so with that information, right, armed with that definition, then when we think about a vision board, your vision board is going to do a couple of things. It's going to house you, like, based on this definition, it's going to house your dreams, right? It is going to include thoughts from your imagination. It's going to include plans for the future, and it's going to include something supernaturally that God has presented to your mind. Okay? Hope you guys are still tracking with me. So how do we now that we understand what the definition of a vision is, how do we bring a vision to pass? So the first thing that we want to do is we want to ask God for guidance. And that is really simple. How do we ask God for guidance? I love to make things practical. And so if I over-explain, I apologize in advance. But how do we ask God for guidance? It's literally like having a conversation, much like I'm doing right now. And so my conversation is probably going to look something like, Lord, you know, this is the vision that you've revealed to me, or this is some of the vision that I have for my life. Okay, can you give me some strategies? Can you connect me to the right individuals to bring this vision to pass? Can you show me what it is that I need to do? Give me the boldness to walk out the vision that you have showed me. Give me the courage to pursue what it is that you have shown me for my life, right? So that is literally like that is how we ask God for guidance. And a lot of times I find that we'll ask other people for guidance, right? Right? So as females, we'll probably call up Susie and we'll say, hey, Susie, you know, this is the vision that I have. What do you think? How should I do this? Or we'll call up Mike for the guys and we'll say, hey, bro, you know, what do you think? But interestingly, Susie and Mike, right? Oftentimes they're not sometimes they may have a solution for you, but oftentimes they're not. So we need to ensure that we are going to God for guidance as it pertains to our vision. The second thing, how do you bring a vision to pass? We want to make sure that we stay focused. And focus is to pay particular attention to something. Focus is to pay particular attention to something. And so the another way that we can bring vision to pass is to get rid of blockers. Get rid of blockers. We want to take consistent action. That is extremely important when we're talking about vision. And then we want to measure success, right? We definitely want to measure success daily. We want to measure it weekly, and we want to measure it monthly and quarterly. But as I think about vision and I think about bringing vision to pass, I think a lot of these things that are listed here are important. All of them are important, really. But I think the number one thing that trips us up as it pertains to bringing our vision to pass is the blockers. And so I think the blockers really can prevent us from getting guidance from God. The blockers can prevent us from being focused. It can prevent us from taking the kind of action that is necessary. And it definitely can also prevent us from measuring success. So let's talk a little bit about blockers. So in football, a blocker is normally like the player who blocks his opponent's play, right? But in psychology, it's the interruption of thoughts by a competing thought. It's the interruption of thoughts by a competing thought. So I want to talk a little bit about blockers, and I want to talk about them specifically as it pertains to the vision that you may have for your own life. And I want to hear from you. What are some of the blockers that you have experienced in the past, right, that have prevented you from accomplishing your vision? So normally I would have a breakout session, but we're just going to actually go ahead and do this in the chat because we're having a little bit of technical difficulties on today. So in the chat, this is going to be very interactive. So in the chat, I want you to tell me what are some blockers that you've experienced in the past as you've attempted to live out the vision that you have for your life. Now, these can be internal blockers and they can be external. So I want you in the chat to tell me 3 things that have blocked your vision. Fear. Okay. Fear of failure. Should that be fear of, okay. Fear of failure and fear of success. What are some other things? What are some other things that have blocked your life vision? Distraction, that's a good one. Procrastination, absolutely. Time management, or actually, I would probably say the lack of time management, right? Doubt, unbelief, absolutely. Being uncomfortable, probably, okay. Lack of spending time, okay. Distractions, okay. The cares of the world, this is really good. Health issues, absolutely. Absolutely, absolutely. Anything, finances, okay. Comfort zone, wanting to stay in your comfort zone, okay. I could see that. What else? No new goals. Then now that's interesting, okay. What else, guys? What are some other things that can block your vision from coming to pass? Not giving up control. And I want to say maybe sometimes giving up too much control, right? Too many options, okay? That's good. So now what I want to do, right? I want you guys to look in the chat, right? Because we can't do the breakout room, so that's okay. But I want you to look in the chat at some of these things, right? And then let's do something here in the chat. So what I want to do is for these things that are listed in the chat, I want to list some things that can combat those blockers. So what would be the solution? If it's a lack of motivation, how do I get motivated? Let's start with that one. How do I get motivated? What are some ways I could do that? Because I want this to be practical. Okay, prayer is a great motivation, absolutely. What other, okay, keep the end in mind, that's good. Spend time, okay. Pray in this accountability partner, that's perfect, because we're going to talk about that later. Seek God for guidance. We talked about that on a previous slide. Awesome. Surrounding yourself with like-minded people, perfect. Find out your why. Motivational videos, this is good, because I want you guys to get the practicality, right? And know how it is to apply these things to the things that are blocking your vision. So that's actually very, very good. So essentially, you really want to develop a game plan, right? And come up with ways that are going to help you to overcome those barriers to your goals or your life vision. And so I'm going to give you guys a few vision blockers that I have seen, right? Obstacles is a vision blocker. And there are tons of different obstacles, right? Bad habits is another vision blocker, right? Getting like anxious and feeling overwhelmed, like that can become a bad habit. And so that's definitely something that we definitely want to work on. Limiting beliefs can be, and I think somebody mentioned it in the chat. Limiting beliefs can be a vision blocker. You know, feeling like you're not gifted enough, you're not talented enough, and you don't have the resources. Maybe you want to start a business. You feel like I just don't have the resources to do that. Unconscious patterns. I know for me, one of the unconscious patterns that I think can trip me up and trip a lot of us up is getting on social media. I have found that I've gotten on social media and 3 hours later I'm still on social media and I have not been productive. I have not gotten anything accomplished. So that can definitely be a blocker. And creative stories, right? So these are the stories that we tell ourselves, right? That the ones that we really do create, and we convince ourselves of reasons pertaining to why we didn't do what we needed to do. So man, I knew that I needed to write that paper, but I was just so tired. But you weren't just so tired, right? Because if you were able to move, you got up, you got something to eat, right? You took a shower, you did some other things, so you weren't that tired. So these are the stories that we create to convince ourselves, the lies that we convince ourselves are actually truths, right? So the created stories can be a blocker. But here's another blocker that I think is interesting. New Year's resolutions can definitely be a blocker to accomplishing your vision, right? And so let's talk about it. Let's talk about New Year's resolutions. And so as we're talking about New Year's resolutions, here's the one thing to remember. Quit making New Year's resolutions. Okay, I'm gonna say it again because I think there's some people in the back that maybe didn't hear me. Quit making New Year's resolutions. Because unfortunately, what I have found is that they are not effective, right? I don't know if you guys have found that as well. So here's the truth about New Year's resolutions that I found. So in a study done by Dr. Gail Matthews, and Dr. Gail Matthews is a psychology professor at the Dominican University in California. And so she conducted a study. And so in the study, what she found was 25% of people abandoned their New Year's resolution after 1 week. 25%. And then she also found in that study that 60% of people abandoned them within 6 months. And that the average person made the same New Year's resolution 10 separate times without success. In another study, she found that only 5% of people who wanted to lose weight on a dieting, only 5% of those people actually kept that weight off, and 95% of those same people regained, 95% of those people in the study regained the weight. And so a significant amount of individuals gain back more than what they originally lost. Now, I think that is interesting. Now, in another study that was done, she found that after a heart attack, only 14% of patients made any lasting changes around eating or exercise. Now, that's interesting because I know for a lot of us, right, we make New Year's resolutions, right? And we say that we're going to go on this diet and it's going to be amazing because we're going to lose that extra 20 pounds that we picked up, right? And then sometimes it doesn't really happen. Or we'll make a New Year's resolution, this year I am not eating any meat. I'm getting healthy, and getting healthy is great. But a lot of times I found that people make these New Year's resolutions and month 1, 2, 3 in, they forget all about the New Year's resolutions. And so my advice would be, instead of making New Year's resolutions, let's set some goals, right? Let's set some goals. In 2021, let's set some goals. So tell me in the chat, right? Tell me what a goal is in the chat. So I know we've been, following this football theme, but I'm really not talking about football or soccer here. But tell me what a goal is in the chat. Okay, so Carl says it's an objective that we are trying to reach. Okay, anyone else? That's actually good. That's good, Carl. Anyone else want to tell me what a goal is? Okay, so I think that's okay, here we go. A set okay, that's good. A target, a vision. Okay, this is good. This is good. An objective that we're trying to reach. And these are all really good definitions of, and they actually align with Merriam-Webster because that's really good. A target, a vision, okay, specific plans which are measurable, achievable. Oh, I love that, Jacqueline. Yes, which are achievable, measurable, yes, and more. Okay, a goal with small steps. This is good. This is good. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So now that we understand, right, what a goal is, we want to make sure that we're setting SMART goals, right? That's important. SMART goals. So we want our goals to be specific. We want them to be measurable, and I think Jacqueline mentioned that in the chat, right? We want them to be attainable, and we want them to be realistic. Sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on with my mouse today. We're going to get it together. All right, so we want them to be specific, we want them to be measurable, we want them to be attainable, and we want them to be realistic. So I want to pause here for just a minute, right? Because I'm going to tell you guys one of my goals are for 2019. So one of my goals for 2019 is to be a linebacker. And I'm going to be drafted in the NFL. I'm going to be playing for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's one of my goals for 2021. Now, I hear you guys in your head judging me because you're saying, Alicia, you're a woman. You cannot be a linebacker. I hear you guys talking. I hear you guys saying that I can't be a linebacker. Okay, so let's talk about the linebacker. Let's talk about what that is, right? So a linebacker is a member of the defensive team in football, right? And so they line up like, I think it's like 3 to 5 yards behind the defensive lineman. And so that's a great goal for me to have for 2021. But here's why it's not a realistic goal. So I am a tall 5'4", right? I weigh 155 pounds, 145 on a good day. And I don't really know much about football, but what I do know about football is that size and speed is going to be really important. Now, when I was in junior high school, I used to run track, and some 30 plus years later, I am not as fast as I used to be when I ran track then. So I'm probably not going to make it as a linebacker because Levante David, he's about 235 pounds, 6'1". He's a pretty good linebacker, but I'm probably not going to make it. So I utilize this example to help you guys to realize that your goals have to be realistic. Now, they also have to be time bound. And I think this is one of the, I don't know if somebody mentioned this in the chat before, but they have to be time bound. So, when you set your goals, what time frame are you going to achieve those goals? And is it going to be 3 months, 6 months, a year, 5 years, 10 years? That's definitely important. So why goal setting? Let's talk about that. Why do I want to set goals? I want to set goals because it focuses my sight on something that I want to attain. It deals with the why, when, and how of my life, right? It helps me to prioritize the detailed steps that are needed to reach my dreams. It helps me to break down overwhelming larger tasks, right, into smaller, more manageable ones. And then it also helps me to handle time management more efficiently. Now, this is definitely important for anybody who's a human, because if you've got a business, you need to know how to manage your time wisely. If you are a mother, you need to know how to manage your time wisely. If you are a business owner, you need to know how to manage your time wisely. No matter what it is that you are doing, you need to know how to effectively manage your time. That is something that is important. And so the other reason for setting goals is that it leads to a sense of accomplishment and self-fulfillment. Now, I want to give you a little bit more stats. Same psychologist that I mentioned before at Dominican University in California. So she did a study in the area of art and science, the art and science of goal setting. And what she found was that you become 42% more likely to achieve your goal and dreams simply by writing them down on a regular basis, right? Harvard Business School study found that 3% of their graduates from their MBA program, right, who had their goals written down, ended up earning 10 times. Did I say 10? 10 times as much as the other 97% put together in only 10 years after they graduated. So, as we're talking about vision, we're talking about goals. I want you to understand that vision is the destination and a goal is the vehicle that gets you there. So vision is the destination and a goal is the vehicle that gets you there. So, how do we set goals? How do we set them? So we want to make goals visible, right? This all relates to our vision board because our goals are going to go on our vision board. But we want to make sure that our goals are visible. We want to write them down. We want to turn them into a creative, artistic visual, right? We want to feel them. So instead of just writing your goals down, like I think one of the important things is maybe just to write a paragraph, about how you're feeling about that goal, or really how are you going to feel once that goal is achieved, right? And then you want to understand your goals, right? You want to make sure that you're setting goals that actually motivate you and understand why you want to achieve that goal. Because I think what's important is if you don't have a clear understanding of what is motivating you, it really is going to be hard for you to find the drive that's needed to succeed. And then you want to take action. And I would say you want to take immediate action, right? Even if it's a small step, because I believe that momentum begets momentum. So you want to definitely kickstart the goal writing process with a tangible action, something that you are going to do immediately. And then you want to share them, right? Share your goals with people. One of the things that I've found is that people are afraid of sharing their goals because they feel like, well, what if I share them and then I don't achieve them? But sharing your goals is definitely going to help to keep you accountable. And I think one of the things about saying your goal out loud is that you make like this unknowing commitment, that you're going to make it happen, right? So I want to do another little exercise here in the chat. I want to talk about your 2021 goals, right? I want to learn about what those are. I want you to share those with us. And before you do that, I want to just give you some things for consideration. So as you're thinking about your 2021 goals, maybe it is a book that you haven't written that you need to write. Maybe it's a book that you've already written and you need to kind of get that book marketed, right? Get some sales. Maybe it's a YouTube channel you need to start. Maybe it's the exercise regimen that you need to start. Maybe you need to find a mentee. Maybe you need to mentor somebody. Maybe you need to be mentored. Maybe it's finishing a degree. Perhaps it's buying a car. Maybe it's reading because you haven't gotten back to reading in a long time. Maybe it's personal development, right? Maybe it's starting a business. Maybe it's professional development. Maybe you want to get out of debt. Maybe you want to invest. So as you're thinking about your 2021 goals, right? I want you to tell me in the chat, give me a couple of examples about what you want to be, what you want to learn, what you want to do, what you might want to have, and then maybe what you want to give. So tell me a little bit about that in the chat. We're going to kind of explore that together. '21 goals. What do you want to be? What do you want to learn? What do you want to do? What do you want to have? And you don't have to give me that many, maybe 2 or 3. Okay, so Devon says, write a book and take a mission trip. Tess says, finish her doctorate. That's amazing. Angelica's, okay, say it again. All right, let me say it again. Drop 2 things in the chat concerning your 2021 goals. They can either be what you want to be, what you want to learn, what you want to do, what you want to have. Grow, okay, grow your business. That's Valentine. Kimberly says, write another song. Go, Kimberly, do it, do it, do it, do it. Carl says, finish my book and release my album. That's amazing, Carl, go for it. Okay, political leadership, starting a business. Okay, let me ask you guys a question. These are really, 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 really good. Take a screen. Okay, Kim says take a screenwriting class. That's awesome. All right, so how many people in here are looking to start a business or grow your business? Okay, start a nonprofit. That's awesome. Because I want to just do a plug real quick for those who want to start a business or grow a business, there's an organization in the Atlanta area that is, okay, start a YouTube channel. Got my granddaughter with her business, Francis Gray. That's awesome, awesome. So I'm going to do a shameless plug here. There's an organization here in the Atlanta area, and if Paul is on this call, Paul Wilson, are you with us today? If he's not, I'll do the plug, or I may call on someone else that's capable to do it. Paul, can you unmute and talk to us who are looking to start a business? Tell us a little bit about what you do and how you can help us to start a business or grow our business.
Sure. Can you hear me?
Absolutely, I can.
Okay. Well, again, welcome everyone. Hopefully you're enjoying and learning a lot during this session. As Alicia said, I'm the area director of the University of Georgia Small Business Development Center. I'm at Georgia State. And we have a lot of resources and services for those wanting to start and grow a business. So even if you're already in business and need help, we have one-on-one consulting services that are actually at no cost. I'll say that first. There's no charge for our consulting services. We can help you with writing a business plan, doing market research for your plan, doing the budgeting and financial analysis, understanding your target audience and customers, developing a social media strategy, developing just a marketing strategy in general, even helping you if you are interested in selling to corporations or selling to the federal government or even the state or even your local municipality. We can help you put together strategy and understand how those procurement processes work. And so we're all about education as well as providing information. And again, we work with you on a one-on-one basis. So we really try to understand your business individually so that then we can help to provide, again, assistance that's most relevant to you. I think I saw a quick question in the chat. So right now, the SBDC only works with for-profit businesses. So unfortunately, we don't work with nonprofits, but we do have some resource information for those who may need help with a nonprofit organization. But again, and because we're federally funded, and that's the reason why we can't work with for-profits from that standpoint. So again, and if you're not in Georgia, SBDC actually is all over the country. So you don't have to be in Georgia to get these services. You can Google SBDC in your local city or your zip code, and you should come up with a list of the closest or nearest SBDCs. Most of them are going to be at a university or a community college. There may be a few that are not, but most of them are associated with the schools. However, you don't have to be an alumni. You do not have to be attending that school. You don't have to have any association with the university itself in order to get these services. Because again, and also just to clarify, because we're at a university, we spend very little time working directly with students. So our primary goal is to work externally with the general public. So just some information, insights, and again, wherever you live, if you want to just Google SBDC as in Small Business Development Center, put your city or your zip code in, and it should come up with a list of hopefully the closest or nearby locations for you to get to get this help. But if you're in the Atlanta area, we'd love for you to come check us out at Georgia State University, and we look forward to hopefully serving you from that standpoint. Any other information that you'd like me to share?
No, that's great. Awesome. Thank you so much, Paul. And so I think this is a great example of why it's important to interact, because you never know who's in the room, right? You never know where your solution is. So you definitely want to make sure that you are interacting as you are in these type of settings. And so the reason that I had you write your goals down, because it's going to help you to create your vision board. So as you're thinking about your goals and goal setting, there's a couple of things that I definitely want to add, and I want you to give some thought and attention to. So one of those things is make self-care a priority, right? Make it a priority. Unplug from everything that you have going on and take care of you. That could mean having a spa day at the house. I know we're in the middle of a pandemic, so a lot of us are probably not able to do the spa and maybe the nail shop, but we can definitely get creative. I'll just give you an example. So like I love to go and get my nails done and definitely, get a pedicure. And so what I've done in the midst of this pandemic is I've pivoted, right? And so I decided that I was going to order a foot spa from Amazon. because retail therapy, I do believe, is a part of self-care. Hello, somebody. It is. So I ordered a foot spa from Amazon, and I ordered this nail set from this nail kit from Nail Boo, I think it's called, and I'm actually able to do my nails at my house. So self-care, definitely important. I want you guys to listen to your body. When you're tired, ensure that you get rest. I know that we are, these are unusual times. Life's a little bit different, but we definitely need to learn how to adjust as it relates to our goals and taking care of ourselves. So listen to your body, get the rest that you need. Take time to get outdoors, get some fresh air. We may not be able to go, out in the normal settings that we used to, like the movies and things like that. But even if it's just taking a walk, do that. And eat real food. Please eat real food, because that is important to your health. And it's going to be really hard for you to attain your goals and live out your vision if you're not taking care of you. So eat real food, eat healthy, eat fruits, vegetables. Make sure you're getting your water intake is what it needs to be. And focus on how you feel, right? Focus on how you feel and shift if you need to, because you don't want to be in a place of depression, and you don't want to be in a place of being anxious all the time and things like that. So definitely pay attention to how you're feeling. Exercise is definitely something that I want to highly, highly, highly recommend to put at the top of your goal setting list for this year and the years to come. And it's not necessarily about losing weight, but it's about being healthy. And it really only takes 15 minutes per day to get some exercise. Okay, so I'm one of those people that used to go out and go to the gym. And again, life has been altered just a little bit, but that does not mean that you can't exercise, and you are not too busy to exercise. You can jump on YouTube and you can find, I'll tell you guys what I do. So I go on YouTube and I find these 1 mile walk videos, and I walk for a mile in my house because it's cold now, and I'm just not trying to exercise outside in the cold. So I put on this 1 mile walk video, and it's from, men can do it, women can do it. It's not, it's unisex. And you can literally walk a mile in your living room. Push the coffee table aside, put your sneakers on, put some sweats on, and get your 15-minute workout in. You will be surprised how your heart will get healthier. You will be surprised how energized you will be. You will be surprised of how much healthier you will become if you incorporate just 15 minutes of exercise into your day on a regular and consistent basis. And again, we're not too busy to do that. And so if you do it at the beginning of your day, which is normally what I do, that's a part of my morning routine. I get up and I exercise for 15 minutes. And then, if there are other exercises that you could do, stand up ab exercises. I mean, there are tons of things. If you just jump on YouTube and do that search, I'm telling you, you can find some videos that can definitely help you to incorporate exercise into your day. So another thing as you're thinking about goal setting is I want you to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for not attaining the goal. Forgive yourself for not being where you thought you would have been by 21, by 31, by 41, by 51, by 61, by 71. I don't think I have anybody past that. Oh, I might. But yeah, you want to forgive yourself for what you have not accomplished, because every day that you wake up is another day to get it right. It's another day to start over. It's another opportunity, right, to accomplish your goal. And so I think one of the mindset that we've fallen into is that we can only start goal setting at the beginning of the year. We can only, start vision casting at the beginning of the year. But you know what? You can start new anytime you get ready to. It does not have to be a new year. You can start new today. Okay? And I think I mentioned this before about making sure that you get good quality sleep. This idea about I'll sleep when I'm dead is just absolutely ridiculous. And I've heard people say that, and it's just absolutely ridiculous. Get the sleep that you need. Listen to your body, because it's hard for you to accomplish your goal and do the things that are necessary if you are not getting good quality sleep. And then the last thing as you're thinking about goal setting is be social. Be social. It's healthy to be social, and it's impactful in different areas of your life. Be social. Get to know people. And even if that doesn't mean that you are, and for some of us, we're still going out, but for some of us, a lot of us are taking advantage of online training. Great opportunity to get to know people and network So those are some of the things I just want you guys to think about as you are goal setting. All right. So how do you get a vision for your life? Let's talk about it. How do you get a vision for your life? Work to resolve old wounds. You might be thinking, well, what in the world does that have to do with vision? It has a lot to do with vision, right? Because when you don't deal with old wounds, it can prevent you from moving forward. It can prevent you from having the boldness that you need to move forward. It can prevent you from having the confidence that you need to move forward. Resolve old wounds. Understand that it's not about you, okay? Explore your passion and talents. This is so very important. Explore your passion and talents. Spend time with people that you admire. And envision what you want your life to look like. And do not, I'm going to say it again, do not limit yourself. You are amazing and you can accomplish anything that you put your mind to. Don't limit yourself. And something else that's not up here, but I'm going to say it, is don't compare yourself to other people. Don't compare your gifts, your talents. Don't compare yourself to other people because you are unique. You are unique. And then the last one is get feedback and buy-in from trusted sources. All right, so why do we want to create a vision board? Vision boards are an important part of the annual goal setting process. And so the process of making a vision board helps you to plant goals and intentions in your head. Seeing a vision board regularly with images and words, which will represent your goals, wishes, values, they will help to remind you of what you want to do, what you want to be, and what you want to have. And they're going to help, and a vision board is going to help to ensure that you continue to move forward in those things, both consciously and unconsciously. So let's talk a little bit about the vision board process. And so during this webinar, let me say this, and I think I may have said it in the beginning, but for those who didn't hear, I'm going to say it again. As it pertains to a vision board, we're actually not going to put a vision board together today, but I'm going to send you after this webinar a very detailed instruction, some tips about putting your vision board together. Because if we did it together today online, we would be here for hours. So, but we're going to go over a little bit about the vision board process. So one of the things that your vision board you want to include in your vision board is words, right? And so I think words is a great place to start when you're thinking about your vision board ideas. And interestingly, you know, words have ways of impacting us and helping us to feel good if they're used correctly. And so we want to incorporate in our vision board quotes. I think quotes are a great source of mindset formation, and they definitely do help to express an idea or an experience that you want to, you know, an idea that you have or an experience that you want to have. So quotes, I think, is very, very useful. Self-affirmations, I think, is another important thing. I like to call them declarations, and that's actually something that I do. I have declarations, things that I declare of myself every morning when I wake up. And so self-affirmations is a little different than quotes because these are things that you're actually going to write out, right, on your own for yourself. So they're a little bit different. And so the whole purpose of a self-affirmation is aimed at changing your worldview. And the purpose of it also is undoing limiting beliefs. And so pictures is another thing that you definitely want to use. Pictures are wonderful in your vision board. They're great for your vision board ideas. And I do believe utilizing images that are associated, let's say, with successful people, any type of image that can evoke certain feelings or experiences, that you desire to have. So they could be anything along the lines of love, success, joy, gratitude. Pictures are definitely effective. And I want to go back to self-affirmations for just a minute and I want to give you a stat. So researchers have found that you can minimize anxiety, stress. You can minimize anxiety and stress and defensiveness associated with threats to your internal sense of self when you have self-affirmation. So that's something that I do believe is important. So let's gather together here in the chat. And what I want to do is I want to talk about your vision, right? We're going to do a mini brain dump. So like when you put your vision board together, you're going to do an actual brain dump. But for the purpose of this, we're going to do a mini brain dump. And so what I want you to do is in the chat, I want you to give me 3 things. Actually, let's just do one. Let's give me one thing that you want to do better, one thing you want to accomplish, and one thing that you want to own. One thing you want to do better, one thing you want to accomplish, and one thing you want to own. Okay, so Devon says regular exercise schedule. Good. That's excellent. Organization. That's a good one. Okay, saving. That's a good one. Manage time a little better. That's good. Better quality of life. Valentine, unmute and tell me a little bit more about that. Better quality of life. Unmute and tell me about that, Valentine. Share with us.
Yes. So I believe that I can have a better quality of life by being better organized, just have a better operational system within my business and not be so tied down to the business and instead start enjoying life more with my family.
Awesome. That's good. What kind of business do you own?
I'm in the restaurant business.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
So Angelica says, teach better and be a better business owner, lose 35 pounds and own your first home. Angelica, unmute and tell me more about the teaching better.
Okay, so I'm an educator for aesthetics. So of course, being an educator, you always want to stay on top of the latest things that are, being implemented in the industry. So that was what I really was talking about, being a better educator, just learning more and being able to have more inside of me to offer to my students inside and outside of the school.
Awesome. Awesome. And what kind of business do you own?
I have a salon suite, and also I have a spa suite as well.
Awesome sauce. I love it. I love it. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. So these are good. These are excellent. Thank you all for sharing. I really hope that the information was useful. So by the time you kind of walk through some of what I've covered, this is what your vision board should look like. And so you can do a physical vision board, or you could do a digital vision board, right? I like a digital vision board because I can go ahead and put that as my screensaver on my computer. And every time I turn my computer on, I'm able to see my vision before me, right? So this particular person utilized some of what we talked about. So we talked about the images, right? We talked about quotes, and this is good. So let's dive into this vision board. So this person looks like they want to travel, right? And then there's some words that they use. We talked about that before. Endless possibilities, which helps them to I would say stay motivated. And then there's some images here. This is actually a really good example. So one of their goals is to meet Oprah, right? Another one is to get a new car. I think I talked about that before. And unleash their child's passion. This is good. good. This is just an example of what your vision board needs to look like. Growth spiritually is a good one. And so this is what your vision board needs to look like by at the end of your brain dumping, writing your goals down, and ensuring that you have a clear picture of what you want to accomplish in 6 months, in 3 months, in a year. So this is an amazing example. So as you guys are thinking about your goals, one of the things that I want to make sure that you keep at the forefront is self-care. I know I mentioned it before, but it is so very important. And one of the other things I want you to keep at the forefront is your mental health, right? Especially during this time. I believe that is definitely important. And so one of your goals, could be to, I don't know, meet with a therapist. And it doesn't mean that you're crazy, because a lot of times we think that meeting with a therapist, that means that I'm crazy. But the interesting thing about it is you're not crazy. Meeting with a therapist is actually a healthy thing to do. And you will find that you are able to really accomplish, you're really able to accomplish your goals, live your best life, because you are able to go in, talk to a therapist about things that you don't talk to other individuals about, even if it's your best friend. And a lot of times I know, as men, sometimes we say, well, my wife is my best friend, and that's cute, but a lot of times that's not always true. And the reason that's not always true is because you don't tell your wife every single thing. You just don't. And so I think it's important, especially for men, generally speaking, men don't like the idea of sitting down with a therapist. One of the things that I have found is that all of us, whether we are a man or a woman, all of us have issues from our childhood that, that perhaps we have not worked out. All of us, have things that we have picked up along the way through experiences that we've had in life, and those experiences have shaped us. Our childhood experiences shape who we become as adults, and the experiences that we have along the way shape who we become as adults. And so if we're going to live if we are going to become the best version of ourselves, we have to ensure that we are healing in the places that are most important. And those places are the places that we don't necessarily talk a lot about. Those are the feelings that we suppress a lot. Those are the experiences that we've had that we want to forget about, because we don't want to have to deal with the trauma that's associated with those experiences. But it is definitely important, if you are going to become the best version of yourself and offer the best version of yourself to your loved ones and to the people who you serve, then your mental health and emotional health needs to be something that is priority. So as you're thinking about your goals, definitely ensure that these are one of the goals that you are adding as well. And so here's some resources for you as it pertains to goal setting and vision casting. These are just a few resources that I do believe will be extremely helpful. So you can take note of them, but if not, again, I will be sharing my slide deck, so I can email that to you at the end of the presentation. So I want to open up the floor for questions at this time. If anyone have any questions, I'm happy to address those.
Yes, can you go back to that slide one more time, to the books? Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, I got it. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, so let me see here in the chat. Can you please send me a pic of that sample? Absolutely, I can send you absolutely. So I can definitely do that. And so I want to ask, go ahead and drop it in the chat. And Jacqueline, if you can just record that, and I will go ahead and make sure that I email that out to Soul Marie. Will I be willing to share examples of my affirmations? Absolutely. Actually, let's do this instead of dropping your email in the chat, because many of you may not want to do that. I just thought about that. Okay, so absolutely, I am willing to share the affirmations, and my camera's on, so I know I'm looking at a different computer because I can't see the chat on this one, so don't want you guys to be distracted. So this is what I'd like you to do. Send me an email, right? So Soul Marie, send me an email. Send me an email to info@marketplacealliancegroup.com, and I will make sure that that I get that to you. So Marie, send an email to, and Jacqueline, if you can drop that in the chat, that'd be great. And send an email to info@marketplacealliancegroup.com. Okay, so let me go back up. Would you be willing to share examples of your affirmations? Absolutely. So I actually can give you a full list. It's actually 2 pages, and some of it I wrote, some of it I didn't, but I'm happy to email it to you as a PDF document. Happy to do that. Send me an email at info@marketplacealliancegroup.com. Also, the vision board again, we'll just show it again. Okay, I can, okay. I'll show it again, Marie. Okay. All right, Valentine said I'll take a copy of the slide. I'm actually going to send the slide deck to everyone. Okay, will you be available? Okay, so unfortunately, Fran, sir, unfortunately the recording is not going to be available for external distribution. Can you send me a copy of the email? I'm not sure. Okay, so the email address is in the chat. Thank you, Jacqueline. Okay, great. All right, so do you guys have any additional questions for me? Okay, so it doesn't look like you have any additional questions. So I want to talk to you about another upcoming Marketplace Alliance Group event. What we are doing here at the Marketplace Alliance Group, excuse me, on the 4th Mondays of every month from 7 to 9 p.m. We are having some interactive workshops, and they're actually called Marketplace Mondays. Am I right about that? Marketplace? Okay. Well, anyway, we are having some workshops on the 4th Mondays of every month for 2 hours, and they will be on different topics. And the purpose of them, of course, is to teach, demonstrate, and activate you so that you can get your more. So the one that's coming up on February 22nd is Breaking the Epidemic of Average. I want to encourage you to go ahead and register for that. It is $19.95. I think it's a great investment. So you can definitely do that at our website, marketplacealliancegroup.com. Okay. And I want to say thank you all so much for attending today. I believe that 2021 is going to be an amazing year for you. And so I do believe that this is the year that you definitely want to plant. You want to put something in the ground. You want to plan, right? Make a decision about what you're going to do. And then you want to do it. Take some action and be intentional. Be intentional about your goal setting. Be intentional about your vision for 2021. I know that we are in February, but it is not too late to start vision casting and goal setting for the year. You know, as I mentioned at the top of this webinar, definitely go ahead and just commit your plans to the Lord and take the steps that are necessary to get your goals on paper. And I'm cheering you on. I believe that you guys are going to accomplish your goals for 2021, that you're going to stay focused, right? That you're going to prioritize the things that are important in your life, and that you are going to blow your goals out of the park. And so I'm excited about hearing about your goals and how you accomplished them and how they impacted those around you. Because a lot of times the goals that we have are not just for us, they also impact the lives of those that are around us. So thank you guys for spending a little bit of your Saturday with me. And if we don't have anything else, enjoy the remainder of your day. Stay safe. And again, don't forget to join us on February 22nd for our next webinar. And I look forward to seeing you all soon. Have an amazing day.